Hey, what's up? I'm Basil Barrington. Today I am speaking to DJ Kirk State. He is a DJ producer, a YouTube content creator. Go check him out on Instagram, Facebook. DJ Kirk State, what's going on, man?
What's good, man? I'm just happy to be here. You know what I'm saying? Put my little 2 cents, whatever you got going on.
That's what's up, man. I guess the first question I really want to ask is, just watching some of your videos, on
Mhm.
your producer desk, you have all of this gear. Can you just let everyone know exactly what sort of gear, hardware, and software that you're currently using?
Oh man, right now the main head of the deal. I got the Akai MPC X.
Mm-hmm.
I got Akai MIDI keyboard, the MPK Mini.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I got the Rodecaster Pro. I got a DJ setup where I got two 1200s. I got the old Akai AMX. I haven't updated my mixer, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you don't see in this. What's not in this room. I got Pioneer DDJ. Um, yeah, man. I got a compressor in here. I took my maximizer from my old mobile DJ set and
Mm-hmm.
hooked it up to the MP. Well, now and then I might hook it up, not all the time, but you know what I'm saying.
You still rocking the
Um,
maximizer, man? Those maximizers are sick, aren't they?
and it's even crazier when you hook it up to your music.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
You
mean,
see what I'm saying?
yeah. Back in the day, you had to have a maximizer. You couldn't do anything
Yep.
without. I mean, you could, but the maximizer just really maximized your music or whatever you were doing. So that's pretty cool. I know a lot of DJs who use the maximizer just in DJ setups as well.
Yep. That's why I had it from like I might have had this one about almost going on a little bit over 20 years.
Wow, that is
Yep.
crazy, man. What sort of software are you using? Like, do you have a DAW, a
Ableton.
specific DAW? Oh, you use Ableton. So you don't use
Ableton.
the Akai DAW, huh?
Not at all, man. I don't know nothing about it. The only way I would, if I know anything about, I'll hook up the MPC to it.
Hmm.
But I'm still, tuned in what's going on to the standalone hardware,
Yeah.
and it's like I don't even pay attention to what's going on the screen.
Wow, that's
Yeah.
pretty cool, man.
And
Okay.
like I can make tracks inside of here, and then save it, and then explode the stems or whatever,
Yeah.
and then put it into Logic Pro mostly sometimes too.
Hmm.
Yep.
What do you think
'Cause
about the MPC-X?
me coming from the MPC 2000,
Right.
and I bought the MPC 2000 when it first came out, like 99, 2000, 2001, whatever it was.
Hmm.
And I was limited, That's why I don't know if you watch my videos. I got thousands of records,
Yeah.
and back then it wasn't no sound packs. Well, I'm lying. It was sound packs, right?
Yeah. Hmm.
I got some right here still on floppy disk,
Yeah.
but you had to order that by mail. Wait, there might have been 10 sounds. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But
Hmm.
yeah, I use it. I just mostly sample vinyl and stuff like that. But like I said, when I had the 2000, it was very limited. I didn't have no effects on there. I only had the 8 outs and stuff like that, and I had the big Behringer board. So coming up to this, the Akai MPCX, to me, it's like a dream come true
Mm.
because now it has all these effects built in. I can sample this. I got unlimited sample time almost. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
It's a dream. I know a lot of people are complaining, and like it's the same thing over and over again with the Live 2 and the MCC 1 and 1 Plus. But for me, I'm happy with it.
Mm.
And
Now, didn't MPC they released a all-in-one synthesizer that does everything?
Key 61,
Key
MPC
61. I'm
Key
sorry.
60
Yeah.
or
Mhm.
61 or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm. It kind of reminds me of like back in the day, everyone had a Triton.
Yep.
So it was like, or you had the Phantom, or you had something else. Let me ask you this question here: do you exclusively work in hip hop? Like that's what you produce for the most part?
Well, I'm gonna tell you this.
Hmm.
If you go on Spotify, there's this thing called KSPSR.
Hmm.
That's me, and it's drum and bass.
Oh, really?
A lot of people don't know that. That's me though.
So check it out. So like in the DC or the DMV area, and even up near Baltimore, DMB isn't that popular. So where are you kicking that? Like in this area?
Like I used to go to a lot of shows down like at the 930 Club, like over by U Street,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and go see a lot of drum and bass artists there.
Yep.
What's the little sound stage in Baltimore? We go up there
Hmm.
and used to see, drum and bass artists everywhere. I mean, I've been all over seeing drum and bass artists, LA,
Hmm.
you name it. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah.
that was something I grew up, you know, because when drum and bass started, especially like jungle drum and bass,
Yep.
you know, it was infused with that, you know, reggae, you know what I'm saying, vibe. That got me right there. And ever since then, from day one, I've been
Yeah.
on it. Like I have a cousin, he made a drum and bass record almost 20 something years ago.
Wow.
Yep. Mm-hmm. And
You
then I
know,
was like, man, I got to do
you,
it.
you know, drum and bass. Would you say that when it comes to Baltimore house, they take a little bit from like drum and bass?
Mm-hmm.
You think so?
Yeah. Sample wise,
Okay.
sample wise, right? Because it's maybe 8 notes or something, right?
Right.
And just repeating that over and over with a vocal sample. And if you took out those Baltimore the drums, you know, if you took that out and replaced it with the amen break or something,
Right.
you got yourself a drum and bass record for real.
Exactly.
You know? Yep.
That's so true. So,
Yep.
what initially drew you into the hip hop genre, and how did you develop your skills to become the artist that you are today?
Okay, so I go way back. I ain't gonna give out my age like that, right?
Let's not date ourselves here. You know what I'm
But
saying?
anyway, so yeah, like I started out, you know, DJing mostly, you know, just like I grew up in the techno funk area, if you want to call that.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like in the 80s, they had, you know, Planet Rock and Kraftwerk and Numbers and stuff, right? So I started with that, and then I was just real interested in how it sounds. So I had some friends here in Baltimore. You heard of the Newmarks, right?
Yeah. Come on,
Right,
man.
okay.
I've been in this area for like over 20 years.
Okay. So I went to school with like Kevin Lyles and stuff like that, right? So they were heavy into, you know, DJing and all that stuff.
Right.
And one day they invited me to a show that they was performing in. I mean, I was always into it, like I said, already for years. But they invited me to a show they was doing with Mantronic. And man, I saw Mantronic. He was tuning his TB303 on stage. And I was like, what the? I said, hold up. I don't know what, well, I didn't know it was a TB303 at the time, but I said, I don't know what he's doing. I got to do that.
Yeah.
And to me, it's been a long journey ever since with that, you know, on and off. And then I was just hardcore DJing all through the 90s and stuff, you know. And then like I said, right around when the MPC 2000 came out, I got back into making the beats.
How do you use your music to express your own thoughts, you know, be it emotions, messages, things of that nature? How do you go about that?
That's what I was, I don't know if you've seen one of my videos, that's what I was trying to tell and teach people, like whatever mood you in, get on your stuff. I don't know if you care if you're a songwriter, you paint or whatever it is, go ahead and express how you feel that day, right?
Right.
That make that anger or that happiness, that whatever it is you got going on, make that your motivation. Sometimes you might not like it, and that might motivate you to do better, you know? Because I came in here and made terrible stuff, and I was like, damn, this is terrible. But I got up, I wasn't feeling great, I still did it anyway, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's what I tell a lot of people. Don't stop because you're not feeling good or something. Like, use that as a strength, you know?
Yeah.
Use that as a strength.
In your opinion, is there a really big difference between what we listen to today in terms of hip hop and how things were, you know, back in the day, 20, 30 years ago, positively or negatively?
The only difference is, and I tell people, like a lot of people that complain, I tell them that there's no, like I tell them, like, they be like, oh man, there's no real music on the radio, or, you know, like talking about FM, AM, terrestrial radio. And I'm like, well, if you really look back, it never was on the radio, you know? It was always whatever the record companies or whatever you wanted to hear, you know, no diss to PM Dawn, or what's the group, you know what I'm saying? Like some of those groups that used to be on the radio all the time, right?
Right,
But it's no different because everything, hip hop has always been underground, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you gotta look underground, you gotta be in the grassroots of whatever it is, you know, you're tuned into, even if you're in the garage bands or whatever. What's played on the radio is not the real garage band stuff, you know?
Yeah.
So to me, there's no difference, but the only difference is, especially with rap these days, they made it personal. You know, like before in the 80s, if you were to diss someone, it was dissing them lyrically, not personally,
Right.
or it wasn't like. And if you did have a crime story, a true crime story, you left out names and places,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
like
Exactly.
Run was like, I had some Chiba in my locker or something, but now it's like with technology, kids can get on here, make a song dissing the guy that lives in their building or in their neighborhood, and next thing you know, they on the 6 o'clock news. That's the big difference, Or
That's so interesting because like back in the day, like you said, like if someone did a diss record, it was just art. It was like
Right.
it was no violent beef or anything like that, right?
Yep.
And the smart one said, "Hey, you know what? I'm gonna make a diss record about you because you made a diss record about me." And then a lot of times, sometimes they would collab on one single, dissing
On
each
tour.
other, right?
Yeah.
Or on tour, exactly. So, today with social media, it's just like, okay, it's a lot of
Instant.
beefs, and
Yep.
that's just how things weren't done back in the day because you had beef with someone, you would go touch them, you would go see them.
Exactly. Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you get your boys, you go to their block. Now, you're
Yeah.
doing stuff on Instagram. It's just like,
Yep.
you're yelling and being messy on Instagram. And it's a tragedy because, like you said, you could actually use that diss, to actually connect with the person and say, hey, you know what? Maybe we can do something where, we're both benefiting financially and not just creating this stupid beef on Instagram. So
Exactly. Yeah. It turns
Yeah.
into something else.
right.
And and the positive thing about today is, you don't even have to leave home.
You don't. Mhm.
You can literally make almost $1 million by sitting in your house, making music, DJing or whatever it is. Because, like, I remember like during the pandemic, or actually before the pandemic, they were making fun of bedroom DJs and stuff like that, right? Or
Right.
you don't have a residency, so you ain't a real DJ.
Right.
Nah, man. Now it's different. Like, you can stay home
Mm-hmm.
and fill up your Cash App or whatever it is, or get sponsors, and you ain't gotta leave the house.
Yeah.
And, that's the positive thing I like about the new technology. I always embrace new tech, but
It's really tough to make money as an artist when it comes to streaming. It's really a travesty because, like back in the day, if you had 1 million listens, that was platinum. You made money, right?
yep.
Today, you do 1 million listens on streaming, you may get $43.
Yep.
And that's like really true. So what do you think about this streaming service, and is it good or is it bad for the music industry?
Now it's just like 10% now. Well, I guess it's just part of the whole pie, you want to call it. So now you got to sell merch along with your stuff.
Yeah.
Along with your streaming, you got to get on YouTube. You got to get on all these other places. You have to be so diversive. It's like that's just part of it. Your talent is just one little piece. Like they say, what is it? 80% business, 20% talent.
Yeah.
I think it's even higher. I think it's 10% talent these days, and the rest is business.
Yo, you make
and being tech savvy.
And being tech savvy. And that's a really good point because like you said, back in the day, the label handled promoting, marketing, everything else.
Yep.
Now you as an individual, because technology has made things a lot easier in a good and also bad way because it's easy, people don't understand like mixing and also
Right.
like mastering music. So they may just hit
Right.
like the algorithm inside of a DAW and say, mix this down for me, put it up
Right,
on
yeah.
Spotify, do the marketing and everything else like on YouTube and everything, and the next thing you know, this joint is blowing up. But the
Yep.
other thing about artists like that is they don't have staying power either. So they come on, they make
Come
that
and go.
money. I hope they stack it and then they're gone. So I heard some horror stories about like streaming. I constantly do, where people have all of these like listens and they're just not getting paid. And in Europe, they're changing that. They're saying, no, the artist owns their own work, so they should get paid.
Right.
Whereas in America, the government haven't done that yet. Hopefully they will at some
Right.
point.
They need
I'm
to
not
catch
quite
up.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they definitely need to catch up here.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, I was gonna say like with streaming my music and stuff, like like I do it through DistroKid,
Mm-hmm.
and then you got I've never even heard of like about they got about 500 companies that stream on there,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like, who are these places? How do I know that they even reporting
Right.
correctly? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly, right.
You know, you might be a star in China and don't even know it.
I was reading a tweet, something you retweeted
Mhm.
about 3 days ago from
Right.
Rap House TV.
Mm-hmm.
And they were basically saying, this was the first time in 30 years that an album or a single isn't number one in 2023. And you ask a very good question, like, are you talking about hip hop? What is this person talking about? Are they talking about hip hop?
Right.
What do you think they're talking about? And what do you think about, like, thus far in 2023, we're in June now, there has been no single or album from the rap genre, hip hop genre, that has been number one. Do you think
Right.
that's a true statement?
I think the waters have been muddied with identifying the genre,
Yeah.
because the like if you go and listen to some of this stuff and strip it down, you basically have a hip hop or a house beat.
Yeah.
Some of that stuff could be almost what was it used to call a house rap, or what was it used to call? Was it house rap or rap house?
Rap House, I
mean,
think. Mm-hmm.
Stuff
Something
like that.
like
You know,
that.
like you
Mhm.
heard that Beyonce album before this one or whatever it was. That was a lot of house music to me. You know, like that
Yeah.
Drake album recently.
Mm-hmm.
That was house music to me. You know.
Yep.
So yeah, they just muddied the waters, I think, and I don't like it. You know.
Yeah.
But to me, yeah, because to me, a lot of that stuff was born out of urban music, if you ask me.
Yeah. So we have streaming, and
Mhm.
now we have AI, right?
Right.
Artificial intelligence, the rise of artificial intelligence, and
Right.
also in the music industry. What do you think about AI, and how do you think it will affect, like, music production, DJing, even rappers? Because I'm quite sure you heard that, like, song that was like a Jay-Z AI. I think Drake did a song like that or something, where
Mm-hmm.
I was listening to it. I was like, this is Jay-Z. And the next thing you know, it's just like, no, this was an AI voice. Where do you think, or how do you think AI will affect the music industry? And will it be good? Will it be bad? I mean, is this a technology that you're embracing? What do you think?
Well, I'm going to embrace it, but they're going to have to create some boundaries, right? Like people that passed away, they're going to have to come up with something legal for that right there.
Yeah.
Because that's the thin line right there, that people that are not with us anymore, and you're taking their voice, and who's getting paid off of it? His family.
Right. Mhm.
I mean, what's going on with that? Because I don't know, did you hear about the recent Beatles album
A little bit.
where they used John Lennon's voice?
Yeah. Mhm.
But the rest of them, Paul McCartney?
Yeah. Mhm.
He's okay with that. He wanted that in there.
Wow.
He wanted John Lennon's AI voice in there. So in that case, that's fine, because that's what he's, that's their family almost. That's what he wants. But I'm afraid that, these record companies can just, like, you might sign a record deal, right? 40 years from now, they're using your voice and your family's not getting paid. That's a reality,
Yeah.
That could hurt a lot of people. That's the only problem I have with it. Other than that, they're going to start making their own music and beats and you name it, and a person that doesn't exist is going to be number one.
And some of these AI writers, you can now, like, have the chatbot create, scripts,
rhyme?
movie scripts. You can also have it write songs and raps. And so the point I'm trying to get at is, so a lot, you had ghostwriters, right? And I don't understand, like, the whole ghostwriting thing, because you should be proud to be a ghostwriter. You're getting paid, right? You're, like, laying down bars for, like, some of the top hip hop artists. You should come out of the shadows, right? But now you have AI, right?
Mm-hmm.
AI has the ability to be the ghostwriter. Now,
Yep.
What I say with AI is, let AI give you what it's going to give you. Then you need to touch it up. You need to, like, brush it up around the edges just to make it feel more human, more, it needs to feel like it's coming from a person. What do you think about, like, using AI to create rap lyrics?
If it's unique to if they have like an AI that's like just unique to your style or something like that,
Mm-hmm.
I ain't got no problem with that.
Mm.
But but if anybody can just say, I'll write me around that Jay-Z would say, okay, that's a problem,
Yeah.
because now it's like Jay-Z isn't Jay-Z anymore. He's anybody.
Right.
You
Yeah.
see what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
I could rap over it, and then they could take my voice and replace it with Jay-Z's. That I don't like. That's not fair either.
Yeah. That's
Like they did with
it's slippery.
I don't know. I did it as a spoof on one of my videos, but nobody really caught on to it. I played it was an AI version of Biggie doing one of Nas's songs.
Wow.
Nobody said anything though. I guess everybody, I don't know if they liked it or they didn't, or they thought it was real. I don't know what they thought, but I was waiting for someone to say something, but no one said anything.
Yeah. I was watching one of your videos where you spoke about industry producers and YouTube producers. Can you just touch on that a little bit? Because that was an interesting video.
Yeah, well, the reason I made that is because the ongoing beef I seen with some of the people that have been in the industry for a very long time, 15, 20, 25 years, and they starting to get on YouTube now, but they're in the same point, they're calling everybody trash or they're dissing people. They're not teaching really. They're just getting on saying, oh, y'all not industry, y'all ain't this, you haven't had any placements, or y'all not that. But my thing was, everyone starts somewhere, and the difference between you back in the day, no one watched you come up except for your homeboys, right?
Right. Mm-hmm.
Except for your little sister or somebody, your grandmother, right? Mm-hmm. She watched you come up and make trash music.
Right.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, everybody gets to see you start and make trash, but they see you elevate into something better. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But you're prejudging people that are on a journey. You see what I'm saying? Right, and that's the difference. That was the thing between the the so-called industry and then the YouTube guy or Instagram guy. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I'm like, man, get these guys a break. Watch them come up. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And then they, like the industry, so-called industry producers were complaining about they're watering down the money part of it. I mean, that's with everything.
Yeah.
Like when the piano came, whoever invented the piano, when that came out, somebody was mad.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
For real,
the piano wasn't around 3,000 years ago, right?
That's true.
Somebody was mad when it came out.
Yeah. T-Pain did a little rant where, sometimes he'll receive music that, people send him and he'll like review it, right? And he just went off one day. He was like, why do you keep sending me this stuff that sounds like everything else? I don't understand this, just because, and that's what the music industry used to do back in the day. They would say, oh, well, T.I. is hot. Do you sound like T.I., right? And so now it's just like, oh, Future is hot, so I'm gonna make a song like Future, or at least try to sound like him. I think in an industry, what makes you unique is your uniqueness. You don't sound like anyone else. Your lyrics are different. Your delivery is different. You don't want to sound like anyone else. You want to be your own person. What do you think about that? There's the lines are blurred when it comes to that because, it's unfortunate, but today, and I hate to say this, but today a lot of the hip hop music from certain geographical locations in America tend to sound alike. What do you think about that?
That's the thing. Like back in the day, they would find people that sounded like you remember the Roxanne Shante days, right?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
How many Roxanne Shantes are there? About 50 or 60, right?
Oh my goodness, yeah.
Roxanne's grandmother, aunt, Roxanne's sister. All these people, they were searching but now, like you said, these days you have to be that very special, unique person, Like they used to make fun of some kids that was talking tough, but that was kind of unique because you never seen what's the little Asian kid that was talking about sticks and all that and guns in the alley back of the mansion. But but that was actually being unique because you never saw that, and he blew up off of that. You see,
right.
Mm-hmm. You can't come out here sounding like another Drake or whatever, because we already got 60,000 Drakes out here, So
exactly.
These days, and that's another thing. That's why I say the playing field has been even. So you're gonna have to create your own sound. I tell people that all the time. Don't worry
Yeah.
about using it in a Kai. Don't worry about using SB 1200s or whatever DAW. You just work on whatever it is, learn what you have, and be yourself. Because that's the only way you're gonna come ahead, man.
Do you have any additional advice you would give to up and coming artists?
Yeah, I mean, actually, well, the number one rule is start anywhere. I don't care where you start.
Yeah.
I don't care if you living at stay at a hotel, whatever you call it. Start wherever you are. Because I've seen a lot of stories where people started in their car, man. You know, start wherever you are and learn whatever it is you have. Like I had a guy complain, right? You know how we do beat battles and stuff, and he brought his MPC live to the beat battle and stuff, right? And the little kid comes up with his phone and kills the whole thing, crushes it. But he's like, man, that's phony. He ain't real. I'm like, what are you talking about? The audience doesn't matter. You see what I'm saying? Like that whole Serato versus vinyl thing back in the day.
Oh my goodness.
It doesn't matter, right? As long as there's nobody in the audience saying, damn, I wonder if he's using records. They don't care if they are dancers and stuff like that. They don't care, you know?
Yeah.
And that's what I tell people, like, yo, nobody really cares what you're using as long as it's great. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I don't know. People get stuck in this, what you call it, fanboys of the Kai, and they get stuck in those mentalities.
Yeah.
And I'm like, nah, man, it's just, you just don't understand. You have to, it's not about what kind of guitar you use or whatever. It's about your talent and how unique you are, like you said.
What do you think about the battle between DJ purists and like DJs who use the technology that companies have created for us? Where do you fall right there?
Let me tell you something. Those people that claim they're DJ purists, they never done the groundwork. I'm gonna tell you that right now. You talk about bedroom DJs, they must have been the bedroom DJs in the 90s. It never did a house party, never did a club, never did a whatever on stage. Trust me, when we would get out and we would take maybe 4 crates of records. We would go through maybe 8 crates. And I ain't talking about the little square ones, I'm talking about the long ones, right?
Yeah.
I had to take 3 people with me. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I had to pack up the car. Hey, you take your car, you take your mother's car. 2 hours setup, all this other crazy stuff. Those people that complain about the technology and stuff, they never was out there in the streets or DJing or at the clubs, because if they were, they would embrace it. You know, like I was saying, I don't know if you saw, I was telling the story about, I remember when DJ Premier was complaining about Serato and stuff, right? And what is he doing? What was he doing a few years ago? Him and Pete Rock was on tour down there on U Street. You see what I'm saying? Embracing it.
Yeah.
But you know, sometimes you got to learn. You say, oh, they was like, man, that Kirk, that ain't real. You got to be touching the turntables. I'm like, man, you crazy. No.
Yeah.
If Rock Raider was here today, he'd be on Serato.
Yeah. You know, that's so, that is so true. I remember like back in the day when I was DJing, you know, generally if you DJ'd in a club, then the turntables were there, but you had to bring your own cartridges. You had to bring your own headphones, and you had to bring your own vinyl. So this is just, so now you cut out the turntables and the mixer. You're still bringing like 5 to 8 crates of records.
Yep.
And by the time you unload everything into the club or the DJ booth, you're exhausted. Not to mention, if you're bringing your own DJ equipment as well, like speakers, the whole 9, you gotta have like fuses just in case a speaker blows out. And it's just like, okay, now when I DJ, I carry a backpack, headphones, and a thumb drive, or maybe a laptop. Okay, I want you to give me your top 5 MCs, and this can be from the new generation or the old generation. This could be like individuals, this can be groups, just your top 5 hip hop artists.
To me, right now, you know, I'm heavy into the boom bap. So right now I'm at to go with Fahim the God, right? His lyricism is crazy. Rome Streets, that just, you know, got with Griselda, I guess, a couple of years ago. Who else is going to come up? Fahim, oh yeah, Makami. And it's a couple of, I don't know the names, but I'm in all that stuff, man. But what's that? It's a Detroit rapper. I can't remember his name. Damn. You know who surprised me?
Who?
I noticed that she ain't really in my top 5, but she did like a she did a record about, she called herself Ja Morant, right? You seen it?
No,
You
is
seen
this
it?
recent? No, is this recent?
Yeah, it's recent, right? It's a white chick. So she did this song, but she was on Sway in the Morning on Shade 45,
Mm-hmm.
and she has bars. She's a real MC, you know?
Wow. Mm-hmm.
She's a real MC. So yeah, I say Fahim the God, Makami, Rome Streets, Riggs is good. I can't really think anybody else. Well, and of course Conway, of course.
Yeah.
That's what I got in my circle right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Who do you think?
As far as MCs,
Oh, two questions. Like, who do you think is the best rapper in Griselda?
Rome Streets.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Better than
Without a
like
doubt.
Conway the Machine, Benny the
Conway
Butcher?
is a sharp second.
Mhm.
Conway's a sharp second.
Yeah.
But Rome Streets been putting in that work.
Wow. Okay.
Yep. Rome Streets
So-
putting in that work with Conductor Williams making the beats. You know,
Yeah.
I don't know if you've been watching his videos, but he's I like his style. You know,
Mhm.
you know, the Conductor, we have a problem.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? Yeah.
What about your top 5 hip hop artists, like from, back in the day, 20, 30 years ago?
Rappers or
Yeah.
producers?
Rappers.
Rappers. Well, definitely on the top would be Nas, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who else I used to love listening to all the time? AZ,
Mm-hmm.
Prodigy. You know, I'm about to put Prodigy at number 1. As a man, Prodigy, number 1.
Now,
Nas,
Prodigy or Mobb Deep?
Prodigy.
Prodigy, really? Okay.
Yeah, Prodigy, right? Even though I read Prodigy's book and he was saying to him, Havoc was the best rapper, right?
Yeah.
But Prodigy, Inspector Deck, and MF Doom.
Okay. MF Doom, man, he is like an anomaly.
Yeah, because he was so abstract. Nobody could touch his style. So you talk about unique. It hasn't been anyone out there since with MF Doom's uniqueness and his mystery behind him.
You just mentioned producers. Who are your top hip hop producers?
Alchemist, DJ Muggs, Conductor Williams, Mad Lib, and I don't know. Let me see. Yeah, Mad Lib, Conductor Williams, Alchemist, DJ Muggs, and I guess trying to think, man. As far as hip hop goes, Metro Boomin. I love his style. Metro Boomin. Yep.
Okay.
Mhm.
Would you consider Tyler the Creator a producer as well?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep.
I like his
Yeah,
style.
I've heard
It's
some of
like
his stuff.
totally different,
Yeah, very different, and I like that story he was telling about how he was on Instagram, looking at little known people and bringing them into his circle.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I like that. He reaches out and stuff like that. Yep, he's very reachable. Yep.
That's good stuff. Well, man, listen, I really appreciate you hopping on the Crossfadr channel, giving me the opportunity to ask you some questions, find out what
Right,
your
it's all
journey
good.
was like, Before we get out of here, man, just let everyone know how they can check you out, how they can listen or purchase some of your drum loops and also your mixtapes. I was checking out, just Apple Music. All of your stuff is on Apple Music.
Right.
I was checking out Kirk State University. All of your drum loops up there. I mean, you just, like you said, you're not just a DJ. You're also a producer. You're also a marketer. You're also a promoter. You're also a content creator. You got to know all those things. So just let everyone know how they can get in contact with you, how they can listen to your music, purchase your music, and just also drop some of your socials as well.
Okay, yeah, I'm on Instagram at DJ_Kirk_State. Like I said, you can go to Spotify, iTunes, or whatever. It's Kirk State. Just put it in, you'll find all my stuff. You can also find my alias, my drum and bass alias, KSPSR, on Spotify. You can go to kirkstate.com and download drum loops, and I got a couple of albums on there. I also had a radio show. I'm about to kick that back up. It's called Kirk State Pirate Radio.
Hmm.
You can go listen to it. You can just Google it and listen to some of the episodes right now. And that's about it, man. And of course, my YouTube page, man. Yep,
Yeah.
that's
Check
building. I don't know where that came from out of nowhere. I was just doing it for fun, but that got a little crazy.
Yeah, man.
Yep.
You know, did you kind of amp that up during the lockdown? Like, let me get into this YouTube thing.
Not really at first, because I was still kind of like of course I was making beats, but then I was trying to do the DJ thing, and then that whole, like you said, it switched up a little bit with the streaming part of it. Like
Yeah.
the big boys came in, they seen the little guys making money, and they was like, hold up,
Yeah.
we got to send in D Nice and DJ Jazzy Jeff. We got to fix this up. I mean, they good guys, but
Mhm.
they sent the big boys in. Now is, I don't know,
Yeah.
but
It's a little tough.
yeah, during that time, and then I read the book about YouTube secrets,
Mhm.
and I read it, and I said, hold up. I started doing little teeny things, and my channel just started picking up. 'Cause I'd had my channel since 2006 or 7,
Mhm. Yeah.
but like
That's
I just
good
started paying
stuff.
attention to it in the last 2 years.
Very
Yeah.
good, man. Well, again, appreciate you coming through, man. And, we'll stay in touch online.
Yes, sir, man. Appreciate it. Thanks for the opportunity, man.